All right, let's dive into this choosing your hard thing.
Sounds intense.
Yeah, kind of is. Bunch of motivational speeches from YouTube.
Yeah.
Those super high energy ones with the epic
Oh,
music.
yeah, I've seen a few. Lot of hype, but they often have some good points buried in there.
This one's all about how life's going to be tough no matter what. But we get to pick which kind of tough we deal with.
Choose your heart, huh? Interesting way to put it.
Right.
Yeah.
Instead of wishing for a life without problems, they're saying, well, every path has problems. Pick your struggle.
Makes sense. Like, you're going to face resistance no matter what you're aiming for.
One speaker put it bluntly, it's hard to be broke and it's hard to build wealth. Which hard do you choose? Kind of hit me hard, that one.
Definitely gets you thinking. It's not about avoiding the struggle. It's about, I guess, picking the struggle that gets you somewhere you want to be.
Exactly. And it's not just about the practical outcome either. Choosing growth, even if it's tough, often leads to this sense of accomplishment.
Right. Purpose, resilience, all that good stuff. While taking the easy way out might seem nice now, but could end up with a ton of regret down the line.
They had this one story in the video,
Yeah.
that really drives that home. A guy who dreamed of being a musician, but his family, they pushed him towards something more stable.
Oh, I think I've heard this one before. Ends up with the good job, but years later.
Totally empty.
Yeah.
Yeah. Regretting not going for his passion. That regret, man, it just weighed him down.
Powerful example of how easy doesn't always equal fulfilling in the long run.
For sure. It's about aligning your choices with what actually matters to you.
Aligning with your values, your dreams, making a life that feels authentic,
Makes you think about even the little choices. Another speaker asked, it's hard to wake up early and seize the day, and it's hard to wake up late and feel like you've already lost time. Which hard do you choose?
Oh, that one gets me every time. Just think about the impact of those everyday decisions.
Makes you realize you're always making choices, whether you're aware of it or not.
Yeah, and that those choices, even the seemingly small ones, they add up over time. You're shaping your experience, whether you're being deliberate about it or not. What stood out to you about that one?
The time thing, for sure. It's so easy to feel like time is slipping away, but this guy's like, no, you control how you use it.
Be more intentional, yeah. Stop just reacting to the day and actually choose how you invest your energy.
Exactly. And speaking of investing energy, we got to talk about pain. All the speakers agreed, no matter which hard you choose, there's going to be pain.
Right, no escaping that. One guy compared it to working out. Think about it. Working out is hard. Muscles tear, you get sore.
But that's how you get stronger.
Right.
Same idea with mental and emotional growth.
Totally. It's not about liking pain, but realizing it can actually be what pushes you to change for the better. Like, reminds me of post-traumatic growth. You ever hear of that?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Like going through something awful, but coming out the other side stronger with a new perspective.
It's kind of amazing how we can turn those tough experiences into, well, growth. Shows how resilient we can be.
So life's full of hard choices. We can choose our struggle. Pain can actually lead to growth. But there's one thing that really stood out to me in all these speeches. Willpower.
Oh, yeah, they were all over that. Like, willpower is just as important as skill, if not more so.
This one speaker, he used Kobe Bryant as an example, said, "Boos don't block dunks." Talking about Kobe's insane willpower, like how he scored 81 points in a single game, even with tough defenders.
Yeah, the talent's only part of the equation, right? It's the grit, the determination to push through obstacles. That's what sets people apart.
The speaker's point was, even Kobe, as skilled as he was, still faced those challenges. He had to dig deep to overcome them.
It's a good reminder that we all have that capacity for willpower within us. But it's like a muscle, you got to train it.
Totally. And then there was this speaker who had a wild take on time management. He basically said, ditch the 24-hour day, it's outdated.
I remember that one. Instead, he divides his day into 3 6-hour blocks, like 3 mini days.
Super intense, right?
Yeah.
But it's all about maximizing focus and getting stuff done. Might not work for everyone, but the principle is interesting.
Yeah, being more intentional about your time, eliminating distractions, finding a system that works for you.
He said something that stuck with me. Valuing and strategically using your time makes you more valuable to the world. Like, time is a currency.
Love that. The more efficiently you use it, the more you can contribute. Yeah. Not just about being busy, it's about using that time well.
And then we get to this whole idea of ownership and wealth. One speaker, he used to be a street hustler, then became a super successful investor. His story was incredible.
Talk about a change in direction. But he was saying there's actually a lot of similarities between those two worlds.
Yeah, the mindset, the strategies. He even said something like, the real gangsters are on Wall Street, trying to make us think differently about where real wealth comes from.
Definitely got your attention, right? And it's not about income, it's about owning assets. That's what builds long-term security.
Like stocks, real estate, businesses. He emphasized understanding how money works, financial literacy.
Empowering yourself to take control of your financial future makes a lot of sense.
Absolutely. And then there was this whole section about overcoming those limiting beliefs that hold us back.
Oh, that's a big one. Those thoughts we have that tell us we're not good enough, not capable enough.
He shared this story about a kid whose own mother told him the world didn't want to see people like him succeed. Imagine carrying that around.
Heartbreaking, right? Shows how powerful those messages can be, but they're not set in stone.
Exactly. We got to challenge those beliefs, rewrite those scripts. The speakers were all about that no excuse mentality.
It's about recognizing that our beliefs are not facts. They can be changed. It's about possibility, not limitation.
Like the power of positive self-talk. If you constantly tell yourself you can't do something, well, you're probably right.
But if you choose to believe in yourself, to focus on what's possible, that opens up a whole new world.
And it's not about pretending things aren't hard. It's about saying, okay, this is tough, but I can figure it out.
That's resilience, that's growth. Viewing setbacks as stepping stones, not roadblocks.
So true. It all comes down to mindset, doesn't it? How we choose to see things.
It's powerful stuff. We really do have a lot of agency in how we experience life, even when things get tough.
We were talking about mindset, right? How it shapes, like, literally everything.
Yeah, it's like our thoughts create our reality almost.
Totally. This one speaker, he kept saying fixed mindset versus growth mindset. With a fixed mindset, you avoid challenges because you're so scared of failing.
Like you think your abilities are just set, and if you mess up, well, that proves you're not good enough.
But with a growth mindset, it's all about learning, Challenges are opportunities to get better.
It's about the process, not some endpoint of perfection. Makes you way more resilient.
This hits home for me because I get discouraged so easily when things go wrong.
I think we all do. But what if, instead of seeing those setbacks as failures, you see them as feedback?
Ooh, that's good. Feedback. Like a chance to adjust, to try a different approach.
Exactly. One speaker said, "The only belief that matters is what you believe you can do. Stop comparing yourself to everyone else."
So easy to fall into that trap, especially with social media. Everyone's showing off their highlight reel, makes you feel inadequate.
Right, and it's not even the full story. Behind those perfect pictures, everyone's got their struggles.
It's about recognizing your own worth, your own potential, believing you can achieve great things regardless of what everyone else is doing.
Yeah, focus on your own lane. You're on a unique journey. Nobody else can walk it for you.
And speaking of journeys, remember that speaker who wanted to ditch the 24-hour day? 3 6-hour blocks instead.
Oh yeah, totally radical. But it's about challenging assumptions, right? Maybe there's a better way to use our time.
For sure. Like being more mindful, prioritizing tasks, cutting out distractions so you can actually focus.
He said something like, valuing and strategically using your time makes you more valuable to the world.
So good, right? Makes you think about time as a currency. The more efficiently you use it, the more impact you can have.
And not just impact in terms of, like, getting stuff done, but being more present with the things you choose to do. Making that time count.
I love that, making it count. And then there's the wealth piece. That guy who went from street hustler to investor, his story was wild.
Talk about a transformation.
It's
He was saying real wealth, it's not about a big paycheck. It's about owning assets.
Right. Things that generate income,
Mm-hmm.
stocks, real estate, businesses.
Yeah.
He really wanted to shift our thinking away from just being consumers.
Become an owner, yeah.
Yeah.
It's about building long-term security, having your money work for you.
And he emphasized financial education, big time. Understanding how money actually works.
Makes sense. You got to know the rules of the game if you want to win, right?
Yeah.
It's about empowering yourself to make smart decisions.
He had this great example. He said, America has one of the biggest trash problems in the world, right? So if I know that Waste Management is a company that's going to be here forever because we aren't going to stop throwing things away, why don't I own that company? Because I know everybody throws things away.
So clever. Thinking about those everyday things, but from an investor's perspective.
He also said, the stock market helped me start understanding how the world moves. Investing can be more than just making money. It's about understanding the bigger picture.
For sure. It forces you to pay attention to trends, to global events. Suddenly you care about things you never thought about before.
All right, before we wrap this up, we got to talk about fear. This was a big theme throughout the speeches.
Ugh, fear, the ultimate killer of dreams. It can be so paralyzing.
One speaker said that fear stands for finally exiting average reality. Basically, Until you get over that fear of stepping outside your comfort zone, you'll never reach your full potential.
Ooh, I like that. It's like fear keeps you stuck in mediocrity in this tiny little box.
He was all about believing in yourself, even when others doubt you. Said, the only belief that matters is what you believe you can do.
So true. You got to cultivate that inner confidence, that unshakable belief in your own ability.
And it's about pushing past those self-imposed limits. This guy said, the human mind and the human body will go as far as you push it, as long as you believe in it. Like, we're capable of so much more than we realize.
We just got to tap into that potential, be willing to challenge those boundaries.
It's so easy to let fear make our decisions for us. But these speakers, they're all about choosing courage over comfort.
It's scary, sure, but growth, real transformation, it usually happens outside that comfort zone.
This deep dive has been amazing so far. We've talked about choosing our hard, embracing the pain, using our willpower, redefining time, owning our worth, overcoming fear. But there's still one more piece to this puzzle.
The thing that ties it all together, that gives us the fuel to actually turn these ideas into action.
And that's purpose. When we come back, we'll explore how finding and pursuing our purpose can make all the difference in living a fulfilling life. Stay with us. Okay, so we're back, and we're talking purpose now. This was a big theme in the speeches.
Oh yeah, they kept coming back to that, like purpose is the key to it all.
Right. This one speaker, he said it's about leaving the world better than you found it, making a positive impact.
Doesn't have to be some huge world-changing thing though, right?
Exactly. It could be about your family, your community, even just like random people you meet throughout the day.
It's about finding those little ways to make a difference, using your talents, your passions to benefit others.
And of course, it's not always going to be easy. The speaker, he was big on perseverance, said there's more people that struggled in the world that has become successful, so struggle has to become a language.
Wow, that's deep. Basically, struggling, it's part of the process. It's how we learn and grow.
Yeah, like those setbacks, those obstacles, they're not signs that you're failing. They're actually getting you ready to fulfill your purpose.
Building that resilience, that grit, shaping you for what you're meant to do.
And then there was this other speaker, he had this analogy about pain. He said, consider this your wake-up call. What most people fail to realize is that pain is inevitable and it is unavoidable. So no matter what, you're going to face some hardship.
Right. Trying to avoid it completely is just setting yourself up for disappointment. The key is, how do you respond to that pain?
He actually said, if I'm going to hurt like this, if I'm going to bleed like this, if I'm going to cry like this, let me cry because I'm in the best shape of my life. Let me cry because I'm conditioned to weather the uphill war. Let me cry because I'm building my relationship, I'm building my business, I'm building my legacy. So powerful.
It's about finding the meaning in those tough moments, letting that pain transform you.
He even said there are two types of pain. There's a pain that hurts you, and there's a pain that changes you. Choose the one that leads to growth.
I love that. The pain of discipline, of pushing yourself, that's the kind of pain that leads to real lasting change.
It's also inspiring, but honestly, it can also feel kind of overwhelming,
Yeah.
Like, how do I actually apply this stuff to my life?
I hear you. It's easy to get fired up in the moment, but then what? Where do you even begin?
And that's where the final piece comes in. Action. These speakers, they were all about taking action. Not just thinking about it, but actually doing something.
Because at the end of the day, that's what creates real change. You got to bridge the gap between inspiration and results.
This guy, he was like, it's time to get real. It's time to get raw. It's time to look ourselves in the mirror and come to the resolve that this version of ourselves is not going to carry us in the stretch. No more excuses.
Love it. Step up, challenge yourself, commit to actually becoming the person you want to be.
And it's not a one-time thing, right?
Yeah.
It's about showing up consistently, even when you don't feel like it. He said, success is not automatic. You don't get things just because you want them. You achieve your goals only when you are disciplined enough to keep showing up when you don't feel like it.
It's that daily grind, that commitment to the process. Success is a journey, not a destination.
And then this one line, it really stuck with me. He said, in this very moment, all you have is all you need. Like, you already have what it takes, but you got to take that first step.
It's about focusing on what you do have, not what you're missing. Shifting from limitations to possibilities.
He ended with this powerful call to action. He said, what would you like to do? What do you believe you've been destined to do? Sometimes you have to fall back into the dark room and focus on you. You have a date with destiny. You have unfinished business. It's time for you to go back to the drawing board with a new perspective. If you can see it, you can have it.
So good. It's about dreaming big, believing in yourself, and going for it.
This whole deep dive has been amazing. We've covered so much ground. Choosing your heart, embracing the pain, finding your purpose, taking action.
It's about empowering ourselves to create a life that truly feels fulfilling, you know, a life that's aligned with who we are and what we want.
So, as you think about all of this, ask yourself, what hard choices are you facing right now? What kind of pain are you willing to go through to reach your goals? And most importantly, what's one small step you can take today to start moving in that direction?
Every journey starts with that first step. Choose your hard, embrace the challenge, and never stop believing in yourself.
That's it for this deep dive. Thanks for joining us.